Let's get right into it. Let's unpack Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 8. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. We are back with Voices of Reality, talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Before we get into that, as per usual, we're just going to say thank you. We are 2 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. We appreciate the 98 that we have so far. We are building, okay? And you guys are helping us build. And we love the interaction. We love the comments. So keep them coming. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you did not hit it already, okay? And don't forget to comment because that helps out with YouTube pushing us out there and getting more subscribers. Let's unpack Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 8.
So it starts out with Garcelle with this, her friend, Sheree. Is her name Sheree or Sheree? Because I keep saying Sheree.
I'm not sure Sheree. I'm thinking it's Sheree.
So she's ex-wife of Will Smith. So when Garcelle first started out in Beverly Hills, I saw her and a group of her friends, and she was one of the women that was there. So it was nice to kind of see Garcelle interact with a woman that's outside of that circle. Seemed like they have a true friendship because later on in the episode, you kind of see where she had Garcelle's back. But it was a short episode. She spoke a little bit about her co-parent. I mean, a short segment of them interacting. She talked about her relationship with Will Smith, co-parenting, and it was more so Garcelle in talking about her 50th birthday party.
Mm-hmm. That's
so it wasn't much of a scene. So what do you think of her, friend?
I like her. I do. I like her. It seems like a really authentic friendship. Like it doesn't seem like they knew each other. It seemed like they still getting to know each other. Like they don't seem like, I'm used to having like long friendships. So when someone tells me that they knew each other for like 3 years or something, to me, that's short. But they just seem like they really have a genuine connection, even though they may not have been knowing each other and hanging out for decades. It seemed like they really like have an organic, genuine relationship that's growing. And like you said, that's outside of the circle where she don't have to be so guarded and she can just be herself and kiki. And like, I like some of the terms that they was using. Like, that's like how I would be like, she's not that relaxed when she's talking to the girls, the housewives. So I can appreciate this.
So the one thing that kind of surprised me is that Garcelle dated Will Smith. Like, I didn't know that. I was like, Garcelle and Will Smith? Like, she said that later on that she dated Will Smith. And I was like, did they sleep together? She didn't say much, but dating, I don't know. And how long, I don't know. And I was like, oh, did they compare notes? But it seems like this woman, Sheree, knew Garcelle dated Will Smith, which was after her whole divorce and stuff. So they didn't really tackle that too much. So I was like, okay, when did they become friends? When did she find out Garcelle was dating Will Smith? So it's kind of interesting. So I was just kind of like,
it had to be a long time ago because she was married to Will so long ago. Like their kid has got to be like 20 years old now. And I think they was married at the beginning of, when the kid was like a toddler. So, and then I think it seemed like Garcelle dated him like a short while. And to me, it just seems like Garcelle and Sheree, his relationship is kind of still new. To me, it's like 3 to 5 years, if
Makes
that.
sense. And it's old news. I mean, he's married to Jada and stuff like that. But I think Garcelle had said something like she knew it wouldn't work out with her and Will Smith when his son, when she had called Will Smith and the son said, oh, is that so-and-so, and said somebody else's name. And that's when she's like, okay, I don't think the relationship is going to work out because he knew the son mentioned someone else's name that wasn't hers. So it was something like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So there was a scene with Kyle, her husband, and her daughter when Kyle starts talking about the group chat for Garcelle's 50th birthday and how Diana wasn't able to join based on a surgery and something with her uterus. And that
she had a miscarriage.
She had a miscarriage, and she mentioned something about saving her uterus, and also that she spelled Garcelle's name wrong. So I felt like they were all all were commenting on that because Diana kind of said, oh, this is all the reasons why I'm not coming, and I don't want to seem rude about it. It's kind of like, I'm not coming.
No, but she threw shade at Garcelle though. Like she specifically directed shade at Garcelle. Not just her name being misspelled. It was like she took a shot at her when she said,
doctors are putting me on bed rest to stop bleeding.
This trip and flying and drinking and burning my candle both ends after losing baby.
Bleeding for 8 weeks straight after miscarriage.
And 4 major surgeries that followed in last few weeks to save my uterus was not a very intelligent thing to do.
I usually wouldn't share this in a group text because it makes me look like a whining bitch.
But Garcelle, misspelled, might think I'm rude, so there it is.
You remember that's what Garcelle said in Mexico, that she felt like when she asked about the movie, Room 16, whatever.
The book.
The book, that she felt that Diane was being rude in her response. So it was like Diane was kind of like rehashing that and bringing it back up and kind of throwing it back at Garcelle as shade in the text when that had nothing to do with, like, she just wanted to take a shot at Garcelle.
Yeah, because she said, I'm not coming because of my surgery or whatever, her miscarriage or whatever. Then I'm like, wait a minute, she had a miscarriage? I was like, well, how old is her baby? But anyway, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it as, yeah, she was throwing shade at Garcelle, but it was like, oh, these are all the reasons I'm not. I was trying to still understand. She sent a text saying, oh, these are all the reasons why I'm not coming to the party, but I don't want to be rude. Like, I was trying to understand what was the whole text again. Like, where did
I think she wasn't coming. I think her whole text, to me, I took it as she said she's not coming, which I think she really planned on not coming. But at the same time, she felt the need to throw, when somebody, it's kind of like with Real Housewives of Atlanta with Marlo and Kenya. It's like when somebody just wants to provoke you and take a shot at you, they want it, like, it's going to come out of left field. They're not even going to segue it right. So I think that was the case with Diana and Garcelle. She does not like Garcelle. Diana does not like Garcelle and Sutton. She has something against both of them. And to me, it was almost like she's throwing shade to provoke Garcelle and to kind of just initiate an attack on her. Like, a subliminal, like, really passive aggressive. So
you said something that you don't think she likes Garcelle and Sutton. Now, Sutton, we already know why she doesn't like her based on her making her, Sutton made her cry and everything else. But she doesn't like Garcelle. Why? Like, what is her issue with Garcelle? Because Garcelle said, oh, because you don't want to answer the questions to your book, you were rude. Like, what is her issue with Garcelle? Or is
I think it's that. I think, to me, I think it is that comment that she made about her being, to me, it seems like Diana holds a grudge. Like, even it could be the slightest thing. I think she's still holding a grudge with Sutton about the way that she kind of screamed at her in Mexico. I think she's holding a grudge with that. And I think she's also holding a grudge with Garcelle for saying that she's rude. And it's resurfacing when she's throwing a little shot at her, when it's not even like, it's unprovoked. Like, you're throwing a shot. You're saying you're not going to her party because you got a miscarriage, and you should be worried about, your miscarriage and mourning, like, instead of trying to throw shade. Like, to me, it was like she needed to get that out. And it was like on her, like she's bursting at the seams to get it out. And then it just came out in a text unprovoked. So
I'm not a big fan of Diane, but I'm on her on this side, because if somebody said I'm rude and I felt like I wasn't being rude at the moment, because again, let's not forget, she didn't want to talk about the book because there was so much controversy about that book, which she should have just said, I don't want to talk about the book because there's controversy.
Exactly. That's not Garcelle's fault.
But the fact that Garcelle's like, she took it very personal. Instead of saying, I wasn't being rude, whatever, she took it like, you really offended me by calling me rude. So, and that point, if I was Diana, I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't probably have gone into all this long detail, because they were reading the text. Like, they showed each of them reading the text. I'm like, this is a long ass text. Like, hello, I'm not able to come to your party. Done deal. Like, you told them about your uterus and your miscarriage, all that. I wouldn't have done it. Sorry, Garcelle, I was going to go to your party. Unfortunately, something happened. I'm not able to attend. Boom. But if she decides to put all that stuff in there, I would throw a little bit of shade and be like, well, I'm not being rude, or, I don't want Garcelle to think
I wouldn't be thinking about, if I'm having a miscarriage, you think I'm be thinking about throwing shade at some trivial comment that you made weeks ago in Mexico? I'm be thinking about
miscarriage.
She what?
She had the miscarriage. We don't know when she had the miscarriage between when it was Garcelle's stuff.
No, but no. In the midst of her texting the ladies, that was her reason as to not. That's why she's not going. I had a miscarriage. I got it. The doctors put me on bed rest. At the same time, I just want Garcelle to know I'm not being rude. So she's.
Yeah, but again, the miscarriage all depends on how affected she was by it. She just had a baby. I'm not saying that, and I'm not taking away from having a miscarriage, but she may not have been as affected by it. It could have been like, oh, she was 2-3 weeks pregnant. She bled and had a miscarriage.
Not the way she went off at the party. We'll get to that part when she went off at the party. So she was obviously devastated.
So the party was another situation, but I saw the shade, but I probably would have done the same thing. So I wouldn't have been thinking about that. I probably would have thrown a little shade too. I mean, I don't know if it would be in the midst of a miscarriage, but I would have thrown a shade too at Garcelle. And Garcelle's my girl. I'm not a fan of Diana, but I would have thrown a little shade. So I
agree. Like I probably would have. Like if somebody did say that to me,
you would have.
Yeah, I would have. I know. You know why I would have? Why I'm saying it? Because I am gonna fight fire with fire. Like it happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would. Yes, I would have done it, but I still think the way Diana responded about that book, I still think it was rude. I think I had a right to call her rude. But even if you do call me rude and I was being rude, fine, I was being rude. But when you call me rude, I am going to respond back and say whatever I got to say to you and respond and defend myself. So I do get Diana. Like you said, I can agree with that. I would respond.
She was being rude, but she was offended by it. But I didn't think it was that much of a big deal. Like, oh, she didn't really go off with Garcelle's head like she did with Sutton. So for me, it was like, oh, Garcelle, get over. And Garcelle kept talking about her name misspelled. Okay,
no, Diana was being rude. If I ask you a question, I hate when people do that and they be like, I told you that already. Okay.
Oh, she was. She was rude. I'm not taking that away from her. She was.
Oh, okay. I thought she was saying like she wasn't.
No, I say she was. I said I don't think she thought she was being rude.
Oh, okay.
Like you can be rude sometimes and don't realize you're being rude. Like really, that was rude to me. And Garcelle said, well, I come from a family where we have manners, and this is not how we talk to each other, respond. So again, I mean, I've had incidents I said it's not rude, and somebody's like, oh, that was rude. I'm like, it was. Well, not to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but I don't think it was that big of a deal that she threw a little bit of shade of to Garcelle. And the fact that she spelled Garcelle's name wrong, like, get over it. Like, it's not that easy. A lot of people spell my name wrong.
Yeah, people spell my name wrong all the time, even though it's so easy. Like, I just respond. I don't even correct them anymore.
So with Sutton, she said Diana jabbed that Garcelle spelled her name wrong. The one thing I do like about Sutton, I like Sutton. I liked her the first time she showed up on this, on Beverly Hills. I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that she has Garcelle shaking. No, about like how she felt she was disrespectful. Like, you're not gonna be doing that to my friend.
I like that too.
I like their relationship because they have each other's backs, and it's one of those types of relationships. Like, I hope this whole reality world don't mess it up because they met on the show, they became friends on the show, they're friends off the show, but I see loyalty. And I'm seeing more loyalty now on Garcelle's part, more so this season than last season. So I really like seeing them together and their friendship and how it's blossoming and the loyalty. So I really like how Sutton was like, not to my friend. And you spelled her name wrong. I like that.
I do too. I'm big on defending me. Like, I don't care if it's big or small. Like, I just... I'm big on that. Have my back. I don't care in what type of capacity. So I do, like you said, I admire that about their friendship.
And then next scene was Garcelle's 55th birthday. First of all, looks great. Now I didn't particularly like the dress. But she looked great. Like overall, 55. Garcelle doesn't look 55.
She doesn't.
She looked great. I didn't like the dress. They had that big Birkan cake bag that was like $500. That bag was exquisite. Like the cake bag, I was like, ooh. Like that bag.
At first, I thought they was throwing her shade when it was like, that's the only Birkin she'll ever have, like that she has or something.
They said that. She said that to herself. Like
no. She said that afterwards. But when Garcelle wasn't there, she didn't make her entrance at that point. So they all went up to the cake. before Garcelle came out. And Kyle said that's the first bag. That's the only Birkin that she has now. The first, no, she said, no, wait, let me get it right. But
I don't remember. She said that?
Yes, she said that before Garcelle, when they first walked in and looked at the cake. Kyle walked up to the cake and she said the first Birkin that Garcelle has. And then only reason at first I took,
that's not shade. That's not shade because Garcelle admitted she doesn't have a Birkin. And
afterwards, I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. At first, I thought it was shade, and then when Garcelle came in and then made like a joke afterwards, that's when I said, "Oh, okay." But the way that they said it to me, it was like she's like, okay, she's not on our level. She doesn't have a Birkin. But Garcelle also, but I don't know. Maybe she can't afford a Birkin. I don't know. But don't throw shade at me because then that's highlighting it. We all may not be making the same salaries and have the same money, but don't rub it in.
Yeah, but Garcelle said it. I mean, I don't know if she had a comment. I mean, they know she don't have a Birkin. I could see Garcelle saying, I'm not spending that kind of money in a bag, which she did say.
Yeah, she did afterwards. That's why I got the joke. Afterwards, I let Kyle slide with that. I didn't let it bother me.
I saw online that Garcelle ended up getting a Birkin. Now, she didn't say who gave herself, but
somebody,
I was like, well, who gave you a Birkin? Was it Jamie Foxx?
No, she bought it herself. She was on Watch What Happens Live.
I think she said somebody gave it to her. I was like, who's giving Garcelle a Birkin?
No, she said she bought the bag herself, and she said she actually left it on her table for a while before putting it in her closet because she wasn't sure if she was going to keep it because she paid so much money for it.
So what the hell she bought the Birkin for? Just to buy it?
No, when you buy it because you want something and you want it so bad, but then it's like you get home and you feel a little guilty. It sounded like she had a little guilt, but she ended up keeping it. But she said it took her like a week or two to bring it upstairs.
Like, do I really need this $100,000 bag? But again, a lot of people think they're investments. So yeah, more power to them because I can't afford one.
Exactly. So, not yet.
Subscribe, maybe.
Yes. When we get out there, okay, when we get these hundreds and hundreds of subscribers and ads galore on our channel.
Exactly. Maybe one day, right?
Yes, and sponsorships.
So one thing I had to say, Kyle looked good. You saw her. First of all, I don't know if it was me, but that outfit was a little bit inappropriate for Garcelle's 55th birthday. Like, I expected to see Garcelle on her birthday or something. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Kyle showed out. Like, that see-through outfit she had, she looked great. Because if you watch previous episodes, Kyle was self-conscious about her body. Like, she would wear bathing suits and be on camera a certain way. Even on the girls' trip, remember when her and some other castmate was talking about, her issues with her body. So to see Kyle come in like that, I was like, wow, that was something I would see Erika wearing. So she looked phenomenal. Like when I saw that's Kyle in that outfit, her body looked great. So that was something, I guess Garcelle's style is different, but I mean, Kyle looked more like the birthday girl to me with that outfit. That's just my opinion. But
yeah, Garcelle, I don't know. I don't like wearing black too much. Like, to me, that's the only thing I would have changed. I think this outfit was sexy. I love that broad top. I want to get something like that. I love that. But I don't know. I wouldn't be wearing all black on my birthday. I'm a colorful girl.
Too. But I think she might have taken a little bit of attention from Garcelle with that outfit. And we'll talk later on about
the splits.
We'll talk about that.
Sweeping the floor with her vagina, as they said.
We gotta talk about that because I have my own opinions about that. So then Diana walks in. So I think then, she comes in and she says to me, I didn't like that. She said, "Oh, it's dead indeed."
What did she say?
She said it's dead indeed. So whatever assistant or whoever guest she brought. I think they had it written in the subtitles, so I had to rewind, play it back.
Maybe that's why I probably missed it when I was probably looking down, and then I probably didn't understand her accent. Okay.
Yeah, I have it there. She said, "It's dead, indeed." And to be honest, the party did kind of look boring until later on when the music started flowing, because you kind of saw people just sitting around. You didn't really hear any music. So when Diana did walk in, when she said, "Oh, it's dead indeed," don't shade at Garcelle, but it did kind of look boring.
Yeah, I guess that's how it is though. When you first start the party, you can do the formalities and stuff like that, and then when the drinks start hitting the system, that's when a turn up happens.
And the music and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes.
So then Sutton's saw Diana coming in. And she was like, she said, Jesus healed Diana. That's how she's here today.
Yeah. So maybe Jesus came because Jesus did that. He would heal people very quickly like that. Possible. Jesus still heals.
That was funny.
I saw a little shade at first, but she didn't do it to her face.
No, she didn't do that to her face. I like Sutton.
I do, but let me just.
She's just so kooky though.
Yeah, and let me. When Diana walked in, I did kind of like her humor when she showed the cake of the book.
Just let me show you something.
What'd you do? Oh! Is that the famous book?
I was like, oh, you could go to Garcelle and Birkan.
Yeah, that's true. But I do like her. I did like her sense of humor in buying that cake because it was kind of like, to me, it was like she was making light of it. Like I was thinking to myself, okay, she's not holding a grudge. So that part made me feel good until later on. But I started feeling a little fuzzy inside for Diana with that cake because I love a sense of humor.
Not really. That didn't make me feel fuzzy. It was just like, oh, okay, now she's adding humor to the whole
but it was to me, it was like she's making light. She's taking it as a joke. Like they referenced she was holding on to the grudge of like Rhobh and the book, and it was a big deal that she didn't delve into like what the book was about. And now she's coming with a cake of the book. So I don't know. To me, I thought it was humorous.
Garcelle, I think in confessionals mentioned she should have got her a bag or something, but with all that money and Diana carrying a $250,000 Birkin with a diamond on it, I would want to book in something better than that. I would have been kind of like, oh, okay. Like, you're coming to my party, like, and this is what you're going to get me. That's how I would feel. I feel like if you have such rich friends, or it's something else in the book, but whatever.
I can agree.
They're not friends, but then again, they're not friends. So she probably didn't want to give Garcelle anything worth that much money. It was like, look, let me give her the book. It's not that expensive, and I can use humor. And she mentioned, oh, it was really hard to find this book, but it was a cheap gift.
It was, but you gotta recognize the sense of humor. That's what would have kind of like helped me get over that hump with her. Was if I would have saw a cake like that, I would have laughed at it, and I would have thought that it was like, I like gag gifts like that.
No, I wouldn't have liked it. Even though the next thing was Erika and Crystal talk about Garcelle's son, Oliver, and how fine of a man he is.
Yeah.
Oliver's hot. That's like my jam. And then here goes Crystal, a married woman. She's like, I've been staring a little too. Erika said it was okay, but Crystal shouldn't. I mean, she said it, but it was kind of thirsty. Like, it was kind of, to me, and this is just my opinion.
I don't think so. I think it was cute. Like, it's not nothing. It was innocent.
For Crystal?
Yeah, she's mad. What you think she would really like? To me, I felt like Erika, after she started going too far with it. Like, I think the way Crystal said it and the way it just ended there with Crystal, it was innocent. Like, but with Erika was like, it's just like if I see one of my friend's sons and I think he's cute, of course I'm not gonna get with him, but I made jokes about my friends' kids before and how handsome they are. But it's innocent. Am I really going to go to a hotel with them and like get it on and popping? No. But I believe that Erika would with Oliver.
We'll talk later on about Erika. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. I believe that she was, but with Crystal saying like, yeah, I've been staring too. I just think with Crystal, it was innocent. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, he is good looking, but that's it.
I didn't think that of Crystal, but I didn't really like the comment. And this is just my way of thinking, like, it's on TV. I don't know her husband. He could have made light of it, because for me, I'm always thinking, oh, the world's going to see it. My husband's going to see it. People's going to see it. It all depends on how people perceive certain things. For me, if I was there and I saw him, oh, he's good looking. Yeah, he's good looking. But, oh, yeah, I was staring a little too. Staring. I don't know. For me, when she said it, was just like, I don't think she meant a way as thirsty as
yeah.
Erika.
Yeah, that's what
I would have maybe worded it differently to me. Not like, oh, I've been staring a little too. To me, the whole stare, I've been staring to me means like, oh, now you like, that's how I felt. I think it could have been better, like, oh yeah, he's handsome. That's how I felt. Because, and I'm thinking a different point of view. Like if I have a husband and they're talking, oh yeah, so-and-so's daughters are attractive. Yeah, I've been staring a little too. I look at my husband like, excuse me.
Yeah, true. Now that you put it like that.
Who you staring at? Why are you staring? Like, it would have been like that. Instead of like, oh yeah, she's attractive.
Yeah, do you have a thing for younger women? Like, now that you put it like that, I probably would feel a ways if my husband did that and said that.
And let's be honest, husband ain't the best looking.
I did kind of feel Crystal's husband though this episode.
Yeah.
I did kind of feel Crystal's husband this episode, like how he walked in. Yes, how he was there. I love like a social man.
Oh, he had fun. He was having fun.
Yes, I kind of like that. He had like, I think didn't he have like sunglasses on, or he had a little swag with him. I just love the whole like how he was like a dancing machine, and then she said they call him whatever nickname they call him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I kind of like I was looking at him in a different light because he do look a little goofy in other episodes.
And he older than her too.
Yeah,
so it's just like this is a younger black man, and he's older, and it has nothing to do with colors. He's just an older man. Oliver's a little bit more Crystal's age. So I'm just thinking if the roles were reversed and I was in a situation like that, my husband sees a younger woman closer to his age and I'm much older than him. And he's like, oh yeah, I've been staring to a little too. I'd be like, what? Really? That's what we doing now on national TV? Like, I don't know. He may not, and that might be their relationship and he might joke around, or he might not give a damn what she said. It's just like when she said it. One, I wasn't expecting it from Crystal. For some reason, I didn't expect her to say that. And it's just I was been staring a little too. It's just like,
yeah,
okay, Crystal. When you're staring, what were you thinking? You know, one of those things. It's kind of like, ooh, you know. So it was innocent, but I think the wording for me should have been different. But comment below and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
What's the next? Oh, there goes Diana, and there was a whole big to do about her $250,000 Birkin and the diamond that was on it, and them talking about it, and Kyle was talking about it, and Diana was talking about the bag. But I mean, the woman is filthy rich, but $250,000 for a bag.
I mean, but on her level, that's like
nothing.
Probably like $1,000 to us. Like, so I just think that's different. But I do think in that scene, Erika, I think, was in that part, and I do believe that's when Erika was kind of like manipulating her. I felt like she put a little seed in her head when she said to her, when Erika says to Diana, she said, I told Sutton that you made the new girl cry. Like, to me, when she said that to Diana, it made me feel like she was manipulating her, like kind of like preparing the beast to come out, like of her, by reminding her that Sutton made you cry, remember? And to me, that kind of
oh goodness, Erika did that?
Yeah, she said, I told Sutton that you made the new girl cry. She said that to Diana.
Oh.
And to me, it was kind of like when you remind me of somebody did to me that was kind of like not cool. Like I'm going to, I don't know how I may react. My grudge might rear its ugly head.
So yeah, Erika was putting that battery in her back.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. I don't remember that part. The next scene I remember was Sheree, Garcelle's friend, when they're all sitting down together, and she was talking about her vagina and how she made peace with her vagina.
20 was terrible.
I mean, for me anyway.
Yeah.
Since 21, it was bad too. Yeah, it is all bad.
But 2020 was bad for a lot of people. Yeah. But I also think it was kind of like a spiritual awakening. And I'll tell you, I literally, this is going to sound crazy, but I made peace with my vagina.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm like, this came out of left. Is she just trying to have a conversation with the ladies?
Yeah, that was a little bit too much. TMI. I was like, oh, you're still a newbie. No one want to hear about your vagina.
Yeah, you could have kind of like made small talk about something else, but that's the first thing you're going to talk to me about is how you're masturbating or whatever. I don't know. That to me, that's the way I took it when she said she was making peace during COVID. She took some time and was masturbating throughout COVID.
Yeah, that was kind of classless. Like, ooh.
Yeah, I didn't need to know all of that, especially if I'm just meeting you. Like, let us be cool and having some drinks or something later, like in an intimate setting. I don't want to hear about that and just meeting you.
Yeah, that is a conversation she needs to have with her and Garcelle, not with these movies.
Not with new girls.
Yeah, like what the hell? Like that
and
was
you don't know
not
how judgmental they are. Like, oh, like that's what she's doing every day, masturbating. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to know it.
But
yeah,
Erika jumped in again. I haven't watched just the show for so long. For some seasons, I haven't really been watching. I started watching when Garcelle came on. But Erika made a comment, and I had to go back and look at a video with Erika and Dorit's husband. So when they were talking about the whole vagina thing, Erika now says Garcelle went into she was forced to wear underwear. Garcelle said that part. Now Erika said in regards to Dorit,
like we're. Well, don't ask her husband because I don't like to wear underwear, and apparently he looked at my pussy all night.
Oh damn! Kyle needs some underwear.
I don't have any.
Oh my God!
I told you
Why
that.
don't you have any knickers on?
Because it doesn't look good under my dress.
and I was like, what the hell is she talking about? So when I went back, because again, social media was talking about that scene. It was episodes and seasons back when Erika wasn't wearing any underwear to like a group function. I don't know if you ever saw that episode.
I did.
And she was sitting next to what's his name? What's his name again? Dorit's husband's name? PJ? Well, PK. And she had no underwear on. And he was basically staring at her cootie cat all night.
Mm-hmm.
Then they showed their scene where he then told Dorit that he felt very uncomfortable because he couldn't stop staring at her vagina all night. So Dorit didn't say too much about that, but when I go back, I was like, that was disgusting. That was just very inappropriate of Erika. When I went back and saw that episode.
That's what I'm thinking. And then for her, first of all, they already settled it. They had a beef because of that.
I didn't see. I never saw that.
They went back and forth a little bit. Like they had a little beef, Erika and Dorit, over that, and they squashed it. Like, first of all, Erika's coming, and then she announced that she didn't have underwears on. So, of course, like, listen, a man is going to be a man. Does it mean that he's going to take you in the bathroom and F you? No. But if somebody announces, and let's be, like, honest, Erika's a good-looking woman. Like,
yes,
so if you announce around a bunch of men or husbands or whoever, one husband, that, okay, I don't have underwears on and I got my legs, open or whatever, and he's got, like, a man is not going to look like you're a man. Like,
that was very inappropriate. I couldn't believe it when I saw back that episode. I was like, it's very inappropriate.
For who though? Is it inappropriate?
For Erika, not the husband. I mean, what man would say?
Exactly. But in that scene, fast forward into what we're talking about now with this episode, I just feel like this is another example that they are shitless scared of Erika, because there's no way if we already squashed this beef and then you talking about my husband staring at your pussy around my other friends, you're making this announcement. No, bitch. Like, I would have checked her on site right there. You don't talk about my husband staring at your pussy. We squashed this already. Okay, yeah, he might have stared at it, but you're not going to be announcing that to the world. That's where it should have stopped when we squashed it before. But you announcing it in a social atmosphere at a party with new girls that we just meeting?
I didn't know anything about this pussy staring.
And then Dorit just sat there, like she just sat there like looking dumb.
And apparently looked at my pussy all night.
Oh, damn.
And didn't he? You could tell it was upsetting to her, but because of how scared she is of Erika, she didn't want to confront her about it. I would have confronted her. You're not going to bring that up.
I don't know. It could have been because she was scared or because everybody knew Erika was drunk.
I wouldn't care. I would have checked it. You're not going to talk about my husband staring at your pussy. You're not.
Yeah,
and you're not gonna have other people thinking that my husband is like some creep always staring. Like, to me, if I didn't know the previous episode, I would have thought her husband is going around looking at everyone's vagina and he's a creep. So that's what I'm saying. I don't care if you drunk or not. I would have checked her so everybody else can know. No, don't get it twisted. My husband ain't staring at pussies over here.
That's what I did like about PK, right, PK?
Yeah.
Was that one, he was honest with her about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my man, I stared at it. He didn't try to play it off like, no, I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
He said that he was uncomfortable. He wasn't saying, oh yeah, I loved what I saw. Ooh. He was saying, look, it was inappropriate, it was uncomfortable, and yeah, I had to stare. I had no other choice. It's right there in my face.
But the way Erika kind of brought it back up to the surface at Garcelle's party, I would have been pissed.
Yeah,
that party would have been, that whole little gathering, it would have turned up over there. I would have definitely shut it down.
I was like, and when she said, I'm like, was Dorit gonna say? Dorit didn't say anything. I'm like, okay, maybe I missed. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal, or was
it was. To me, it's fair. To me, it's fair because I feel like if anybody else would have said that, like as if Garcelle would have said something like that, she would have chewed her head off. Like I think if anyone else would have said that to her, she would have confronted them. It was because it was Erika, and I feel that they scared of her. It comes out, or like anytime it comes to confronting Erika or checking anything that she says that's inappropriate, or responding to her to correct her, or at least, they just won't. They just don't.
Well, this is a perfect scene that she didn't say anything. I was like, well, damn, she didn't say anything. So to me, I was like, oh, maybe it's not that big of a deal. And then when I looked at the episode, I was like, oh, that is a big deal. But
yeah. And you announcing that around people that don't even know the situation that happened.
Then they jumped into the party scene, and I was happy to see Lonnie from The Real and Adrian. They were both there. They were two of the hosts. Well, they were two of the hosts from The Real. And I was disgusted by Kyle. I mean, I've seen other episodes. Yes, we know you're very flexible. Yes, we know you can make a split. But that was disgusting. She literally swept her vagina, her butt cheeks, all over that floor. That's disgusting. I'm like, after that, this woman probably has a yeast infection.
No, if I'm drinking, I don't know. I might do a couple of. I don't know. Listen, I'm having my drunken best life. Like I'm not. Listen, that is.
Nah.
I'm not thinking about, like, you're not really thinking about that. You're not gonna go home and have mold growing out of your vagina and all of that. Like that's kind of like you don't get a yeast infection that easily. You're gonna live. You're gonna survive. You only live once. To me, I'm turning up, and if I get the urge to do a split or so, I might.
With your butt cheeks and your vagina just scrubbing on the floor. Oh no!
When you drunk, you're not thinking about that. You just living your drunken best life, and you think about that tomorrow. I might have been thinking about, oh yeah, I swept the floor. Let me take a longer bath or whatever, soak or whatever. But I wouldn't be thinking about that in the moment. I'm having fun. I'm drunk, and I'm just. You only live once. Have a good time. Turn up.
I was like, that is disgusting. I understand being drunk. Comment below. Let us know what you think about Kyle sweeping her butt cheeks and her vagina on the dirty floor. But to me, it's unsanitary. And her sweeping her butt on dirt.
That nothing is. It's not gonna kill you. It's not going to give.
I just was disgusted by. She was like, oh, I was like, ugh. And
I loved it. I thought she was having a great time. I just think it's all in fun. Whatever doesn't kill you, you're gonna survive and you'll be okay the next day.
I mean, I've been drunk and I could have a good time, but to me, it was just like, ew. Like, I don't know, maybe it was me, it was just her, like. And then Garcelle, when Garcelle was getting, I think, her hair and makeup, somebody said, oh yeah, Kyle sweeping her vagina on the floor. So I knew I wasn't the only one that was disgusted by it, but hey, I just was like, oh my God, what is she doing? And I've seen her do splits before, but I can't remember her doing it and sweeping herself on.
Yeah, she didn't do it like that, but hey, listen, I'm here for it.
Oh my God.
I'm here for it. I liked it. Like I said, I'm all about a good time, and you only live once, and it was unforgettable. I'm sure that's gonna go down in like Beverly Hills history, like her other split.
Yeah, like all the splits.
So I'm here for it, and I would do the same thing if I'm drinking and I feel the urge. I ain't thinking about, okay, dust might come up in my vagina, and so I can see why Mauricio, like, why they love each other. I'm sure, like she said in the confessional, she got a few more tricks up her sleeve, and to me that just showed like, okay, girl, she's 50 some years old. She's flexible. She having a good time. She turning up at parties. I can't imagine my mother at a party doing splits and stuff, and she's able to be flexible like that in her 50s.
And she said that she's able to put her head behind her head or something like that.
Yes. Let me tell you something. Little secret of mine. I'm flexible too, and I do the same thing. So you never know. You might catch a split and me putting my legs behind my head too. I don't know.
Make sure you have pants on, you're not sweeping the floor. Make sure you have pants on, you're not sweeping the floor. And then the next scene was Sutton and Diana. Sutton decided to go over to where Diana is sitting and mention about why Diana didn't come today.
Because you were on bed rest.
I still am, but it's all good.
So you're on bed rest, but you're here.
Yeah.
So that's confusing. You're going to have to clear it up.
That I should be in bed and I'm here.
I think it's the way that Sutton said it. If I was Diana, I would have been ticked off too. I think it's the approach. First of all, Diana's already annoyed with Sutton. Sutton decides to go over there, but I think Sutton's approach was kind of like, she tells Diana she needs to be more clear. She needs to clear it up because she was supposed to be on bed rest. Like, oh, I want to clear it up. So I think her approach was wrong. It could have been like, hey, son, I saw the chat. You sent a group chat. How you're doing? Or how you're feeling? I think maybe if she did it that way, I don't know how Diana would approach it because she felt like, oh, well, you don't really care anyway. You just want to be in the business. But I think Sutton's approach is what really set Diana off. Yeah, I would too. I would be pissed off too.
I don't think it was that serious. The way she was just so, as Sutton put it, soulless. I don't think it should have gone to that extent. I feel like Sutton does have a certain awkwardness about her. So, I mean, and I guess if you're not friends with her, it could come off like offensive. If I don't know her, like sometimes when you get to know people and how awkward they are, then you are a little bit more forgiving of it. But I just think she doesn't know her, and Sutton is a little awkward. And I mean, I guess it could have been like she was kind of like questioning her being on bed rest, like, oh, did you really have a miscarriage? Like, why aren't you home? Like, I guess it could have been taken like that, but I just feel like Diana just went way too far.
Yeah, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I think she's just annoyed with Sutton. There are certain people you meet, you like them, and some people you don't like them. And the thing I realized about Sutton, if people don't like her, she goes out of the whole way to try to convince them to like her.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody don't like you, like, whatever. You don't like me, whatever, bitch. But Sutton is like a person like, oh, she don't like me? All right, well, I have to do everything I possibly can so she could like me.
Yeah.
So I think that is her thing. Like, it happened last season with Crystal. It's happening now with Diana. Diana clearly is not fond of Sutton. I would have said anything to her.
And she's carrying like this grudge from when they spoke about her brother's death. Like, it's just a little nitpicking. It's just like, but I think it's like you said, any little thing, if Sutton breathes heavy, is going to annoy Diana. So I do just believe that, like, she just has a low tolerance for Sutton at this point, and I think it's related to her carrying a grudge from that time that Diana cried. Like, because when you see Diana now, she doesn't look like a crier. She doesn't look like someone that just breaks down like she did in Mexico. So I feel like she is overcompensating to show that she's not a crier and she's strong, and she wants to pay Sutton back for that.
So going back to the incident when Diana was talking about her brother who passed away, and then Sutton mentioned her dad who committed suicide. I don't think Sutton was making it about her or taking that moment away from Diana.
Absolutely.
She was trying to say, look, I could relate. I also had someone I was dearly in love with, which was my dad, who passed away. I think she was trying to find a connection between her and Diana, letting her know, like, look, we have this in common. Diana took it the other way, like, oh, she's trying to make it all about her, or I don't think that's what it was. So that went left.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The same way when Diana mentioned her miscarriages. So I was like, oh, I've had 2 miscarriages
Yeah.
too. Then Diana
it
felt
was
like,
so
oh, she's
wrong.
trying to up me one miscarriage. I don't think so. She's trying I get it. I can relate. I've been there. That's happened to me too. So I think that. But if I was Diana and I have to put myself in these people's shoes, and I know I'm a strong person, this is my first time on this show. I want to come as tough, not a weakling, a crybaby. And I had someone catch me on a weak moment, or it could be an emotional day. I could have been on my period. I could be missing my children. I could have just had an argument with my boyfriend. And this person made me cry. I'm going for your head. Because at this point, I need to let you know you're never going to make me cry again. I need to let all you other bitches know I'm not a wuss. And you're not going to constantly think you could make me cry. So I think she's trying to set the ground now with Sutton. Like, you made me cry. I can't get over it. I'm going to be so mean to you because I want to kind of make you cry. I think she wants to make Sutton cry, to be like, okay, now we're even. You made me cry. I made you cry. So, and she looks like she's somebody that's very, not vindictive, but revengeful. Like, oh, you did this to me. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, I definitely think Diana is making Sutton pay for that incident, because Diana, I think it was her hormones that made her cry, like bust out crying like that. Because I just thought the crying came out of nowhere. Yeah, Sutton was being a little bitch in Mexico to her when she's like, and I'm going to say it again or whatever. But, you know, Diana cried. I didn't think it was called for. So I do think it had to do with her hormones. But I think that, like you said, and like I was saying earlier, like I just think that Diana's trying to prove herself now to be that villain, and she's trying to make a name for herself on the show. I don't know why, because she doesn't need the check, but I guess she wants to be, you know, she still wants the fame, you know, of the show. So, and I do think Sutton is being genuine, and she is trying to be relatable to her. I had to question myself when she was like thinking that she was trying to one up her with her father and her miscarriages, because I do the same thing. If someone tells me something and I can relate to it, I do let you know, like, listen, you're not alone. Like, I've been through it, and I'm going to tell you how I dealt with it. So I do. And that's why they have support groups for things like that, like miscarriages and suicides and deaths like that, because you don't want to feel alone. So to me, I felt like that's what Sutton was trying to offer to her. And I do the same thing. So I just think that if Sutton breathes too heavy, Diana's going to have a problem with it, because she wants to let her know what time it is now that she, made her cry. She wants to make her pay, and she's not going to let up off of Sutton now. And I think Garcelle too.
I don't like Diana, but I get it. I get it, because if I was in that situation, I would be doing the same thing. Like, you made me cry, I gotta get you back. I would be doing this. I
think that takes too much energy. Like that takes away from my peace and my like tranquility. Like, I'm not gonna sit here. Like, to me, I'm so good at ignoring people and making it. I really can be in the same room with somebody and they don't even exist to me, because I'm so much in. Like, I'm on such a higher. Like, I feel like frequency that I'm not gonna stoop down to like that low frequency to kind of like get back at you. Like, that's it. Like, I've done that in a lot of my relationships. I'm definitely not going back and forth with like low frequency people.
But the thing is, Sutton could come off being annoying, because if Diana feels a type of way still about the situation, she already embarrassed you on the airplane. Leave her alone. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Let it die down and let her kind of get over it. Or maybe in the group setting, and to kind of generally get to know you and like you, let her approach you. But she's too much of a
you saying Sutton is okay? No, I don't.
Too much. She's trying a little too hard, and it could potentially become annoying to someone who's still feeling revengeful towards you. Like, if I don't want to be friends with someone, or I'm feeling a type of way towards someone who did something to me, don't try to be buddy-buddy with me. Don't try to be my friend. Don't try to make up for it. And until let me get over it. And if I get over it, maybe we could become friends. Or if I don't get over it, leave me alone. I think that's what Diana's like. I don't want to deal with this woman. Why is she trying to still be cool with me?
But that's where you communicate. But would I be calling people old and frail and like coming at their like, age and their looks? I would never. That's like that's so. What'd you say?
She said son was old and frail.
Yeah,
you know her mouthpiece.
No, I'm not her mouth. She doesn't need me to be her
I know
mouthpiece.
she's frail and old, so I get it.
Oh, you know what? That's bullshit. You're being really mean right now. You're being really mean.
I am.
And what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna mess up my birthday. So good night. My kids are here. I'm not doing this.
Party. And of course, the other lady sat by and did not say nothing, did not correct, did not like the way Kyle. And I'm starting not to like, not starting. I don't like Kyle anymore. Like I did actually like her before, but these last incidents with Kyle and Garcelle's son, and like we're gonna get to that, and and the way that she treated Sutton and the way she ignored the way Diana was treating Sutton, and you just was like going so hard on Sutton, and it just ignoring that. She ignored it when Diana called Sutton old and frail. Like first of all, Sutton's not that much older.
I remember Sutton saying she's soulless. I don't remember.
That came afterwards, after like Diana was like just raking her through the coals. Like that came afterwards when Sutton said she's soulless. But before that, she was saying, "Oh, don't touch me. You're old and frail." Like, and when she was just digging at Sutton and just making her feel so bad, like where she was like in tears, where Sutton was in tears, Kyle said absolutely nothing to correct Diana. Nothing. And that's the part where I said, this is where the bullying comes in. Like you're only picking on Sutton, but you're not correcting Diana, who called her old and frail. That was dead wrong. I just don't think, like, listen, what you're saying, I don't agree with it as far as like keep going back and forth and being vengeful with somebody, because I don't do that. I say what I got to say. I shut it down one time, but I ain't going to be going back and forth. I'm not going to keep digging at you, digging. Yeah. I'm moving on. But fine, if you're going to keep digging, so, like Kyle should have said something. You don't just sit there and then when soon as Sutton says something, then you just like going in on Sutton, like you're holding Sutton accountable, but not Diana for her actions.
So how I see it, Sutton going over there to Diana asks for all of this because one, the last time you were with Diana, it didn't go well. You saw the text she sent to Garcelle. Her approach to Diana to me was wrong. The way she approached Diana, and again, I'm Team Sutton. I like Sutton. I'm still trying to figure out if I like Diana or not. But the way she approached her was wrong. You know the woman don't particularly like you. You saw the email she sent to your friend Diana to Garcelle. You didn't like the email she sent to Garcelle. You then go over there and saying, "Oh, how you doing? Are you enjoying the party?" Light talk. You're going on talking about, "Oh, what did she say again?" She basically started out by saying, "Oh, let's clear it up," because you're supposed to be on bedrest. Why would you mention that? Like, why?
Well, she did say she wasn't coming. It was a surprise to them that she was there.
Oh, you came. I'm happy to see you. How you feeling? If you're trying to get on my good side after I basically told you go on to sit.
I don't know if you had a miscarriage and you showing up. You said you had a miscarriage. You're at home taking care of yourself. You were bleeding for damn near 2 months, and you're here.
2 months. You said bleeding for 2 months. Oh my God, that's more than a miscarriage. That's what she said.
Yes, that was a part of the text.
But my whole thing, again, Sutton did not think about it. Because I bet you she spoke to Garcelle. Garcelle probably like, wait a minute, let's not do this here at my party. Her approach to Diana was wrong. The way you
I don't think it was. I don't think so. I don't think it was that wrong. To me, I just think that's the way. I don't know. I guess if you don't know Sutton, maybe it could. But I wouldn't have took offense to that if somebody said, if I'm telling you that I'm bleeding for 2 months, I had a miscarriage, I'm bleeding for 2 months, the doctor told me to be on bed rest, and I show up like the Grim Reaper at a party. And you don't think I'm going to be like, I don't know how it will come out, but yeah, it's going to come out. I'm going to be concerned, but maybe to you, it could come out wrong. But that's for you to communicate with me, but not to call me old,
but that's what
ugly,
Diana
whatever.
did. Diana was basically saying, oh, you're not concerned. Diana was basically saying she didn't like the way Sutton approached her. That's what Diana was trying to tell her. Like, oh, you don't care. You don't really want to know. That's what
and
Diana felt like.
calling her old, frail, talking about how she wasn't relatable. She's trying to one up her with the miscarriages. She's confiding her. Kyle telling her that she's lying about her miscarriages.
Yeah,
I just think they all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think they was
I don't see Sutton lying about a miscarriage. Who would lie? And if she did, well, that's on her. But that one, I didn't like that about Kyle. Diana's reaction was overboard because somebody posted, I really don't want to talk about this. We'll talk later. And I'll probably just get up and walk away. But Diana, again, you remember Diana is still holding this grudge against Sutton. I don't remember after the whole being on the plane scene, they've been around each other since then. Have they? I don't remember them being around. So she's still holding a grudge when she told
maybe not, but just because you're holding a grudge, that's just like saying, like, okay, you holding a grudge, so that means that you can shoot me in my head, like come with a gun and shoot me. No, you can hold a grudge, but there's a point where it shouldn't go to a level of no return. It should never go beyond, like, just unreasonable lengths. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, that's crazy. I think her response was heartless and soulless.
I agree that she went overboard with the stuff that she said to Sutton. It was a little bit too much. Like, oh my God, calm down. However, Sutton's approach to me was still wrong. Sutton should not have, if she went over there, it should have started with maybe light conversation. Oh, so are you enjoying the party? Light conversation. And then maybe wean your way into, so how you been feeling? I'm so sorry for your loss. Something like that. To me, Sutton came off.
I don't know. If you're supposed to be on bed rest, I would be. No, if a doctor told me that she was supposed to be on bed rest and I saw you showing up, I would ask you. Like, if me and you are friends, I would say it out of concern.
It's a friend. There you go. Me and you are friends. They're not friends.
But still, not as a human.
That's what I'm saying. Her approach would have been different. To me, not a big fan of Diana yet. I'm still Team Sutton. But if I was Garcelle and this whole thing played out, I mean, Garcelle did the right thing jumping in. Later on watching, I'd be like, why did you go over there and say this to this woman? Like, why would you say this? I would have said that to Sutton. When I watched the episode and I saw Diana's reaction, I was like, yeah, but the way that Sutton did approach her was kind of like, And again, she doesn't know Sutton. She doesn't like her. It's like you not liking someone, something happened to you. You don't want to.
Yeah, but I don't think that Sutton knew it was to that extent. Like, I really think that Sutton did overreact when he was in Mexico by screaming at Diana. But I do think after that, I don't think Sutton knew that she was carrying a grudge. And a lot of times we don't know that people are carrying a grudge until it just spews out of them.
Sutton knows she's carrying a grudge because Sutton was talking to Dorit about her not having her sit next to her at their plane. That was the last thing.
Yeah, but she didn't know about she's carrying a grudge that, she's trying to one up her with her father dying. Like, just a lot of other stuff that she was saying that kind of like piled on top of it. Like, so I do think that Sutton wasn't aware to the extent that how angry and vicious that Diana is.
Because she went at Garcelle too, basically. She's Sutton's mouthpiece. I don't think Sutton's mouthpiece, but Sutton can stand up for herself.
Exactly. She can. And if I think you're wrong, you're wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm being someone's mouthpiece. I have a opinion about things that I'm going to tell you that if I think that you're wrong, especially if I'm running in the same circle. It's not like she's, in her relationship with her husband or something. And she's saying, approach somebody's husband or spouse. No, we're in the same circle. And if I think that your approach is wrong, I don't care who you are. I'm going to say what I feel in a way of trying to mediate it. And I don't care how somebody takes it.
True. And then Sutton calls Diana an asshole. Calls her source back and forth. And then Garcelle did the right. I mean, I think she stood up enough for Sutton. Like, stood up for, like, I said what I had to say about how I felt, and then walked away. She did the right thing. She basically, what did she say? She said, yeah, she walked away.
Garcelle
walked away.
Yes. And Kyle, again, said nothing. Sat there, did not do nothing. And to me, it's just like, that's when I was like, okay, I'm done with Kyle at this point.
Yeah, I think she should have just remained neutral. Kind of like, you shouldn't really say this, Chris, what's her name? Diana.
Yeah.
Saying this, Sutton, like, be neutral, but she kept digging at Sutton, like, oh, about the miscarriage, Sutton. I was like, oh my gosh, she's really, well, who's her friend here? Isn't her and and Sutton closer than her and Diana.
Exactly. And then they both, like, if you want to, like you said, be neutral, like at the end of the day, if you want to correct, Sutton, you should be correcting Diana also when she's talking about, and not only that, then you're like downplaying her miscarriages.
I lost 2 babies. I totally understand this.
You lost 2 babies? I never heard this before.
I've had 2 miscarriages.
I never heard this before.
Well, I'm sorry. I did. It's a very personal thing.
I love you, but honestly, this feels like bullshit.
You're being very strange right now.
No, I'm not being strange. I'm being honest. So you're gonna say you lost 2 babies?
I did.
Okay, so out of the blue you say that, and I'm like, we don't know that.
I'm trying to reach to her on a human level. Do you want me to be compassionate or not?
Because you're saying that she never told you. First of all, that's very personal. You don't go around telling people about miscarriages. And why would you think that she should tell you? And because she's trying to relate to her and tell her about that, how dare you? And then she even was dismissive about it and said, oh, her miscarriages are newer. It just happened. Yours happened. Like, what difference does it make? It's still painful.
Miscarriage and miscarriage.
Yeah, that was so wrong.
Now that we're talking, I'm wondering when Kyle was like, oh, you never told me. Did they ever have a discussion about miscarriage? Like, did Kyle have a miscarriage and they discussed it and Sutton never said anything? Because when Kyle said, I'm like, why would she tell you something that personal that's probably very hurtful?
That's what I'm saying. To me, it was like, why would I don't owe anybody to tell them my personal, deep, things about myself. Like, who are you? I just think that Kyle said it, and Kyle didn't say it. And I'm sure if they were talking about miscarriages, Kyle would have mentioned that too. Like, wait a minute, we was talking about miscarriages. You never brought that up. No, she said I never knew about it. So I know Kyle said it in a way like she insinuated that she was lying. And I just think that was that was so wrong of Kyle. I just feel like if Sutton is letting all of this stuff go, I will be chewing heads the F off. I'm telling you, I will be attacking people left and right. How dare her dismiss a miscarriage?
I didn't tell you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kyle, I'm done with her. I hope that, and a lot of people are coming for her head at this point. They all up in her comments. I went to her page to look, and she gonna ask
her husband too. They both of them, and I see why. But that was at that scene. That was it. I think. Wait, they ended up apologizing to each other.
Yeah, but I felt like it was fake on Diana's part. I really didn't.
No, it's all good. I'm telling you, it's all good.
I'm gonna be like, I literally cannot with these two.
Glad it's fake, God.
I can't.
Yeah, because with Sutton's life, she's like.
Yeah, and it was almost like she wasn't it was like a forced hug. It wasn't. She was not. I would have never took that as some kind of peaceful ending at all. I felt like Diana was still being yeah, whatever, and just going in for a hug. She wasn't even embracing her.
I was annoyed with Sutton at that point. You said all this to this woman. She said all this to you, and all of a sudden you're crying and hugging her, and oh, you guys are supposed to be
But like you said, Sutton has been trying to basically suck her ass, and I just believe, to me, I always,
It's annoying that she does that, and she did the same.
Yeah, but I just think a lot of people take that as flattery, and I just feel I just think that if it under normal circumstances, I think Diana probably would have been flattered by it. But just like Erika is, I feel like they all sucking her ass, and they all are Erika's flattered by it, and I'm sure she knows she's intimidating them, and they're scared of her and how they kissing her ass. But I believe that if Diana will be the same way, but the only reason she's not is because she is trying to make Sutton pay. I really believe that Sutton is really trying to make peace with her, but Diana just wants to make her pay for making her cry in Mexico. I think she's not letting up off that. And I don't think Sutton is annoying. I just think Sutton feels guilty, and she's overcompensating by trying to befriend this woman. And I just think
But I
would let it go.
I don't think Diana's fully over it either. I could see her doing something else.
She's not
petty about it, or I could see her still doing something to Sutton.
Yeah, she wants to be, and she's being like just vicious to me. Like I would never, like to me that just takes too much energy. You could be at the party having fun, dancing, having some drinks, and meanwhile you over here calling her, you know, frail and all these other mean things. I wouldn't be at a party doing that. Sutton was more so trying to. I think Sutton's efforts were genuine, where she wanted to make nice. I just think Diana came there fresh from a miscarriage, bleeding for months, and I feel like she was coming there to make them pay and to come in there and like make them feel the wrath. Like I just think that was her whole purpose.
Sutton and Garcelle?
Yeah, I think she came there with a purpose. I think Diana came in with a purpose and to let them know, like, you know, I'm not done with you yet. And I'm gonna drag myself out of this bed, bleeding, hemorrhaging. I'm gonna drag myself out of here and get, like, I just think her intentions are so like misplaced. I think that they are vicious. And like I said, maybe because I'm a different kind of person, I'm not like, I shut shit down and move on. Like I'm not about wasting my life moments and trying to keep getting back at people and being vicious. Like I'm not utilizing that energy for that. And I just feel like Diana is really just putting that energy into it, where I feel like Sutton's intentions are really to make peace. I don't like people who are evil. I don't like evil intentioned people.
So you think Diana has evil intentions?
Yeah, I think she has. I think she showed up. Huh?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they made up. That was the end of that episode. And
okay.
That was, I mean, we're gonna get into episode 9. And don't forget to subscribe. And we're gonna get into the next episode. Don't forget to follow that. And we're gonna put the link to our next discussion down below.
Bye.